Since 2007, consumer technology has relied on the reactive interface. We tap a glass grid, and the software executes a specific, isolated command. That 15-year operational model has reached its limit. We are moving toward the personal agent. This software does not wait for a tap. It perceives context, forms a plan, and executes multi-step tasks across several applications entirely on its own. To successfully orchestrate your life, this agent must run constantly in the background. It requires continuous, unrestricted access to your calendar, your financial balances, and your private messages. Historically, heavy AI processing happened in massive server farms. Transmitting an unbroken 24/7 stream of your most intimate data to a remote cloud creates an enormous security vulnerability. Outsourcing your life to a background agent is impossible if that agent relies on a server you don't control. True autonomous intelligence requires a physical fortress that allows your data to remain in your possession. This is a silicon wafer containing the dies for the Apple A20 Pro. Apple engineered this specific chip from the atomic level up to manage the heavy processing load of system-wide agency. This diagram illustrates the physical limits of older chips. In a standard transistor, the gate controls the flow of electricity from three sides. As engineers shrink these components to the atomic scale, electrons leak through the bottom. That leakage wastes power and generates heat, draining the battery even when the device sits idle. To solve this, TSMC deployed the gate-all-around, or GAA, architecture at the 2-nanometer scale. The gate material wraps around horizontally stacked silicon sheets on all four sides, providing 360-degree control over the electron channel. By eliminating that wasted energy, the A20 Pro drastically reduces power consumption. The device gains the endurance to run demanding background agents constantly without depleting the battery or overheating the chassis. This reduction in leakage ensures that background processes can remain active without the thermal failures that plague current hardware. At this density, 24/7 autonomous intelligence moves from a theoretical drain to a functional mobile feature. At the center of this chip is the newly designed agentic neural engine. To process the complex matrix math required by transformer architectures, this engine needs constant, high-speed access to memory. This animated diagram compares memory layouts. Traditional placement forces data to travel across a silicon interposer, creating physical latency. Apple bypasses this using wafer-level multi-chip module packaging. They fuse 12 gigabytes of RAM directly onto the same wafer as the processor, cutting the travel distance to zero and allowing the neural engine to retrieve context instantly. Running sophisticated AI logic continuously creates a severe physical byproduct. It generates a massive, sustained thermal load that would force a standard mobile processor to throttle its speed to survive. To manage this sustained heat, the A20 Pro utilizes a two-dimensional graphene cooling lattice. Graphene conducts heat up to 10 times faster than copper, instantly spreading the temperature spikes away from the neural engine before throttling occurs. Fusing the memory directly to the processor and pairing it with aerospace-grade thermal diffusion solves the physics problem. The device functions as a dedicated computational engine built to think alongside you. Pushing that level of processing power directly onto the edge creates a zero-cloud fortress. The agent perceives your environment, plans its tasks, and executes them entirely locally. Because the reasoning happens on the silicon in your hand, your medical records, investment portfolios, and family schedules remain locked inside the hardware. They never transit the open internet. Occasionally, an agent will encounter a massive computational model that exceeds the physical limits of the 12 gigabytes of local memory. This animated flowchart maps out Apple's private cloud compute. When a request requires off-device processing, the data is encrypted end-to-end and sent to a custom Apple Silicon server. The server fulfills the request, and the data is instantly vaporized. The computation is entirely stateless, meaning even Apple's site reliability engineers cannot access the information. By combining local hardware supremacy with a stateless external cloud, the system effectively severs the cord. You gain the benefits of advanced AI without feeding your life into a corporate data harvesting machine. Moving from a reactive grid of apps to an autonomous personal agent alters the balance of digital power. It hands control back to the user. By deploying 2-nanometer transistors at a massive global scale, Apple has hardwired privacy into the foundation of consumer electronics. This silicon acts as a mass-market shield against the surveillance economy. The intelligence shaping your schedule, your work, and your daily life does not live in a massive, distant server farm. It is fully sovereign, resting quietly in your pocket. We are seeing a shift in the way humans interact with their machines. We are building systems that operate with absolute discretion. An autonomous system with access to your entire life is an incredible tool, but that system is only safe, and it is only truly valuable when the data remains your exclusive physical control.